A few weeks ago, I was using repair kits as normal to fix up broken armors in my stash, but I suddenly noticed that sometimes it costs me significantly more to use the kit than repairing with the traders, and it made me think, are they always worth it after all? Before we continue, today's video is sponsored by the Ridge Wallet, my favourite solution to bulky and disorganised card holding. I swapped over to the Ridge Wallet and the key case as well, which I'll show you in a second, and I couldn't be happier with it. It holds up to 12 cards really securely inside the wallet itself, which is really nice, and it comes in a ton of cool colours as well. And the Ridge team were actually kind enough to send me one of these, which is one of the new models, which is the Basecamp orange version, and this thing, fortunately right now, is holding a perfect pristine set of labs cards. This version actually comes with a cash strap rather than a money clip, and it really just comes down to personal preference, and as always it blocks unsolicited RFID reading. One of the best things about the Ridge product is the build quality. The wallet is really light but is so much more robust than a traditional one and is literally the size of a card, so it will fit into your pocket really well. Mine looks good as new after 6 months, and there are well over 30 colours and styles, so you can pick the perfect look for you. Same goes for the key case. This holds 2 to 6 keys and my car key goes on a little ring at the back. After reviewing my massive wad of keys, I only needed, 2 of them, and I still feel a bit silly lugging around 13 keys and 4 random barcode tags for years. No more jingling around in pockets or searching for the right key anymore. The Ridge team are so confident that you'll be converted that they have a 99-day test drive period, after which you can get your money back if you don't love it, and a lifetime warranty if you do. You can get the best offer using my link and code GigaRidge at the checkout to save 10% on your order, so that's ridge.com/GigaRidge to join the 50,000 strong 5-star rated proud owners of the Ridge wallet. So, repair kits let you fix armor without using the traders, and overall they are pretty good, generally sitting between skier and mechanic in terms of repair quality, i.e. how much of the max armor durability you lose for doing the repair. Practically, the kits themselves are all found in raids, so typically bought on the flea market from other players. While there is a craft, it's extremely expensive, requiring 3 reduced M's amongst other items, so it's almost never worth it. The prices of the repair kits on the flea starts off low at the start of a wipe and gradually increases over time, so unlike traders, the value of a repair fluctuates based on the market. Late wipe, this eventually tips over the million ruble threshold, which is starting to get pretty pricey despite how good they are, especially considering that armor repair costs were actually decreased relatively recently with the traders. After noticing the discrepancy on pricing, I compiled a bunch of repairs for various armors so that we can get an idea practically of how this works. As we just said, the price of repairs using the kits is dependent upon the market price, and playing around with the numbers a bit shows that at around 850k, it's actually more expensive to use the kits than even mechanic in many cases. These are broadly the ceramic, aramid and combined materials armors, but the one in particular that stood out was the Tagilla face shield. I believe this is actually a bug right now because the price to repair with the traders is extremely low, but the armor repair kit is more in line with what we would normally see. Practically though, it's about 35k wasted if you don't use the traders to do it, and no difference in repair quality. Now, we did just say that combined materials can be better, but there seem to be some exceptions that make this even more complicated. The Class 5 Osprey and the Class 4 Thor are both combined materials, but the trader repair price for the Thor is much lower, making the repair kits that much more expensive relatively. Outside of the Tagilla helmet, the other steel and polymer armors that I checked were all either much cheaper or on par with Prapor, which at this point it's worthwhile using the kits for the better repair quality. To try to understand this a little bit further, I went to the wiki, which has some more information, but it's actually a very confusing page. The repair quality table shows some kind of metric on how close different materials get to their max durability on a repair, which indicates our usual rule of thumb that repair kits sit between skier and mechanic, but closer to mechanic for polymer and steel, and closer to skier for everything else. However, it appears that this gets combined with another table, material quality. In this, we can see that polymer and steel actually have a better repair efficiency with the kits than with the traders as a whole, whereas everything else is on par, which explains why these two materials are typically better when using the repair kits than even mechanic. Checking out a hex grid, for example, we can see that the range of max durability that we could lose is actually slightly wider for the repair kit, but overall the repair itself is expected to be very slightly better than mechanic and at a lower price. Here's where the final wiki table comes in, material cost. Again, we can see that polymer is super low compared to the traders versus some of the others, but similar to combined and titanium. As we have to combine this with the actual price of the repair kits, it doesn't tell us anything in a vacuum, but we can see that the prices of the different materials can fluctuate dramatically depending on which one we're looking at for the kits. Ultimately, it's much more complicated than I originally imagined. If repairing steel and polymer armors, this can probably be done without really thinking using the kits until they get really expensive on the flea market kit later in a wipe, but for the rest of them it's worth checking the relative prices every time. Taking the cost in points of repairing with the kit, dividing it by 1200, which is the overall kit durability to get the fraction of the kit being used, and then multiplying this by the current flea market price of the repair kits will tell you practically in ruble terms how expensive each repair is, which lets you compare to the trader prices more sensibly. Using the condition filter at 100 to only list full durability repair kits, we can see that the costs right now are super inflated. This is due to being at the end of a wipe, and from a purely economic perspective means that it's probably not worth using them at all to repair anymore. However, there is one big thing that keeps players using them despite the price, which is enhancements. When repairing using the kits, you gain experience into the two relevant skills depending on the armor type, light or heavy. The crucial part is you only gain experience when using the kits, not when repairing with the traders. Once reaching level 10 in these skills, you get the chance for an enhancement to be applied when the repair is done. Like with experience, you can only get an enhancement from repairs using the kits too. It won't happen if using the traders at all. The enhancement that you get for armor is reduces incoming damage, which ranges from 2% to 10% until the elite skill is acquired at level 51, which unlocks the possibility of getting a rare enhancement for a 20% damage reduction. This is probably the only one that is really significant, as enhancements disappear after either losing 25% of max durability or being repaired again, which practically for most armors means a single shot of anything half decent will remove the enhancement. Given these skills are extremely slow to progress in, some players may want to continue using the kits regardless of whether it's cost effective or not for this reason alone, but for the majority of players at the later stages of the wipe, it's probably not worth it at all anymore. As you can see, I only have levels 8 and 5 in light and heavy armor respectively, and this is using repair kits for basically all the repairs in this wipe as a level 50 PMC. I think it's a bit unfortunate that you have to cheese this skill early on in order to even reach level 10 for the basic enhancement chance, so I'm probably going to stop using the repair kit entirely now given the current market price once my existing ones run out. As a final note, you need to build the lavatory in order to use the repair kits in the first place, and lavatory upgrades do actually make repair kits 3% cheaper at level 2 and a further 6% cheaper for 9% overall at level 3. All of my testing was done with max traders and hideouts, so already included these bonuses, and you also get a small decrease in costs for levels in the skill Intelligence too. At level 12, this reduced mine by 5%. So before you go to repair that Tagilla mask with the kit, give it a quick think and save yourself some cash. As usual, a big shout out to all my patrons, hit all the buttons if you enjoyed the video, and as always, have fun in your raids.